If you can win the hand fight battle, you're going to win the match. 99% of matches are won from the neutral position. Whoever gets the most takedowns is going to win the match. In order to get an offensive takedown, one where you're initiating the attack, you really do it from two positions. Either you're shooting from the open or you're shooting from a tie-up. And if you look at the highest level of wrestling, most shots are done from the tie-up because in order to get to somebody's legs, you want to get as close as possible. If you're 20 feet away from them, it becomes very difficult to get to your opponent's legs. They can see it coming from a mile away. So that's where hand fighting comes in. And I want you guys to realize with this video that urgency matters so much. You cannot let your opponent get anything. If they have a collar tie, immediately get it off. If they have your wrist, immediately get it off. You cannot let them hang there for 1 second, 2 seconds. That is just enough time for them to fire off their attack. I'm gonna pull some clips up of some high-level hand fighting so you guys can see that they don't waste any time. That's why you see a lot of finger fighting where people are interlocking their fingers at the highest level. It's because when their opponent goes to reach to get a collar tie or an inside tie or their wrist, they're blocking it immediately. They're catching it. They're catching them from even touching their head. You should feel so uncomfortable when somebody has their tie up on you. When they have a collar tie, when they have your wrist, you should feel so uncomfortable and get it off. If you prioritize this, if all you focus on is staying in a good stance and hand fighting everything off and getting to your tie up, you're gonna eliminate almost all of their shots. Think about it. Each wrestler has their own system, especially the better wrestler. They have their best tie-ups, their best attacks that they develop over and over again. That's why I've been coming out with these wrestling series videos. You got Cael Sanderson goes righty collar tie. All of his attacks are from there. Jax Forrest goes righty elbow tie or tricep control. Majority of his attacks are from there. If you could never let Jax Forrest get to that elbow tie, if Cael Sanderson could never touch your head in the first place, you just kept taking it off, all the reps in practice he puts into with the techniques he hits from there and all his past experiences become almost useless. Yes, he can still fire a shot off from the open, but if you can control the hand fight, you shut their entire offense down. That's your only shot of beating these really good wrestlers. If you're gonna wrestle me and I spent my whole life working on my underhook positioning, if I get there on you, I'm gonna score. But if you just spend a little bit of time learning how to pinch your elbows tight to your side and thumb block the underhook and really just be more stingy with preventing them from getting that tie up or getting out immediately, having urgency in your hand fighting, I'm gonna get so frustrated. And that's where I got most frustrated in matches when I couldn't get to my tie, I couldn't get to my positions. That's why a lot of matches are low scoring. Why is it people sometimes say it's boring to watch the higher level wrestling when you see two really good wrestlers battling it out? Because a lot of times the battle of hand positioning and hand fighting. I want you guys to put a bigger emphasis on the hand fighting. Do not let people have anything. If you have an underhook and they have your wrist, forget about the underhook. Get the wrist free. Focus on getting that person's tie up off of you. Because if you have an underhook and they have your wrist, what are you gonna hit? You gonna hit a throw by single? No, he's got your wrist. You're gonna hit a regular single? He's gonna pick your wrist up. What if you have a collar tie and they have your wrist? I mean, yes, there's a couple things maybe you can drag it off, but that's the thing, you're very limited and they kind of already know what's gonna happen. Okay, they know you can hit a drag. If I have your wrist, I know that's what you're gonna do. But if I get my wrist free and get back to my underhook or get back to my collar tie, now I can fire off my shots. If they have elbow ties, right? Like Jax Forrest, a lot of people, they don't think that's a great tie, right? So I'll let you have my tricep. I don't care, I have a collar tie or I have an inside tie. Well, if they start pulling that tricep in, you need to have a warning go off in your head. Get out of there. Thumb block out of that position so that you're not vulnerable anymore. I mean, think about RBY versus Austin DeSanto. And I'm giving you a bunch of examples. I'm being very animated about this, but please focus on this. RBY versus Austin DeSanto. Austin DeSanto beats RBY. Next time they wrestle, RBY literally puts his hand on his own back so that Austin DeSanto can't get to the inside tie. And RBY wins that match. How can you win a match against that good of a wrestler by putting your arm behind your back? It's because Austin DeSanto has spent all of his training on an inside tie, and if he can't get there, he doesn't know what to do. Yes, he can shoot from the open, but he's not comfortable enough. He doesn't have the confidence. I mean, it's RBY. It's another high-level wrestler. I can't just shoot a random attack off. I've got to get to my best stuff. Hopefully that can help you guys out with your hand fighting. Please prioritize not letting them get to their tie-up. Get everything off. Smack it off. Smack it off. Get the collar tie off your head. Don't hang out there. Get him out of the elbow tie. And get to your tie-ups. And knowing that when you wrestle the better wrestlers, you'll only have a couple seconds, a second or two, to hit your attack. Get the wrist, pull, go. Dig the underhook, push, he pushes back, drop in. All right, don't hang out there for too long because then they'll find a thumb block. They'll find a good head position to just shut down your offense. All right. Hopefully this video helps you guys out. And if you want to watch my full hand fighting instructional video, you can click right here.